It's been 12 years since Toshihiro Nagoshi's epic tale of Yakuza hit the PlayStation 2. And within those 12 years, Yakuza has become one of the standout crime drama series out there. But now it's time to introduce a brand new generation with brand new hardware to the series start. I'm Michael Jordan, this is Niche Gamer's video review supplemental for Yakuza Kiwami. First of all, the graphics are spectacular in Yakuza Kiwami, and it has to be. They have a lot of leftover assets from Yakuza 0, but they do utilize them very well, and it's actually surprisingly shocking how well they do it. Character designs are always crisp and stylized with a hint of hyperrealism, never dipping into the uncanny valley. This allows the character designs and graphics to stand the test of time and not fall into one of those Nintendo 64 pitfalls. One thing to note is just how much attention to detail Yakuza Kiwami puts in. A really great example of this is when you're walking around town and you hear somebody's voice. You can pan the camera over and you actually see that their mouth movements are mapped to the voice and they have their own expressions. Many games would just have this mapped to the background noise associated with the character, but Yakuza Kiwami goes through the extra mile to make sure that each character emotes and moves their mouth. This makes for a more engaging experience overall when you're looking at the game visually. Gameplay has been cleaned up significantly from the original on the PlayStation 2, and those who played Yakuza 0 will feel right at home. On that note, if you've already played Yakuza 0 on your PlayStation 4, the game will recognize this and give you a small token item for your achievements. Combat is fluid and easy to master, although overall gameplay is still extremely challenging if you are not prepared for some of the fights in Yakuza Kiwami. Like the previous titles, allowing you to restart the fights on death might be a necessity for some players. It's simple and easy to use, doesn't have any fuss, and gets you right back into the action where you left off. The experience and leveling up system will allow players to customize their playstyle to any way they want, and unlike Yakuza 0, the playstyles are all a bit more balanced this time around. This allows players to be a little bit more freeform in their playstyle and allow them to try new things. Yakuza Kiwami still boasts a plethora of mini-games with upgraded graphics and a lot of new interesting little story points if you pay attention. One of the standouts is the Mizuking card mini-game, which not only serves as a fun little aside, but is a hilarious side story in itself about young kids making friends and learning lessons through a game featuring scantily clad big booby ladies themed after bugs who'd use wrestling moves on each other. Yakuza Kiwami really ups the ante when it comes to the game's sound and music from the original game, really utilizing the hardware of the PlayStation 4. The team behind Kiwami put a lot of attention into detail to make the game feel more alive and the different sights and sounds of the city interesting while matching music during heightened tension scenes. The general game sound design is also very well mapped and visceral. Every punch, stab, gunshot holds weight, especially when they land or when you're using a special heat attack. These are especially brutal and amazing to see and hear. When we get into story, we gotta note that Yakuza Kiwami is not 100% translation of the original Yakuza game. There were many additions to content made so that it could tie back into the Yakuza 0 game, as well as fill out plot points that were missed before because of limitations of the PlayStation 2 hardware. All these additions are way beyond worth it for the new and old fans alike. Now with that said, Yakuza Kiwami doesn't change the story so much that you would have to play Yakuza 0 before playing it, but I highly recommend it because Yakuza 0 just lays out the perfect groundwork for this game. The story, even after 12 years, stands the test of time, filled with brilliant character development and interesting plot points. Kazuma taking the fall for his closest friend Nitsuki, who ends up killing their boss to save their childhood friend Yumi from being raped, leads them on a series of events that will destroy who they are and change them forever. The story is powerful and heartbreaking and able to reach highs and lows because of just how good they balance the humor and humility of the story in the series. Yakuza Kiwami is an amazing remake. Not only did they take the time to polish the game for current generation hardware, but they also took the time to see the flaws in the original game and obliterate them to make a more perfect product. It goes without saying that you should pick this title up, but you also might want to pick up Yakuza 0 to enhance your experience. Hands down, this is a must own.
Thank you for watching this video review. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you want to help us out, feel free to check out our Patreon page.